Nintendo just confirmed their next first-party Switch 2 game for 20 bucks. That's not a mistake, that's not a typo. $20. And this comes after DK Bananza is about to release at $70, not $80. So drop the price they have. And in this video, we're going to examine Nintendo's new pricing trend and what it means going forward. Did we effectively end the $80 game? Let's talk about it. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. 20 bucks for a Switch 2 game? This is pretty crazy, especially after the upswing in prices with Mario Kart World. And I'd argue Welcome Tour. Welcome Tour is a $10 game that should be free. It's $10 more. Mario Kart World is $80. People are saying it's $10 more because it should have been $70. Nintendo basically added a $10 tax at the start of the Switch 2 gen. Have they already abandoned that? We just got confirmation today that Drag X Drive is the new Switch 2 game with a date, August 14th, for 20 bucks. Now, you might not be a fan of Drag Drive. You might not be interested in Drag Drive. It's basically like, it reminds me of like wheelchair basketball with mouse controls being the emphasis and heavy online play, multiplayer action. It honestly looks like something that I'm very eager to try out. And at $20, I will absolutely dive in. Now, this is smart for a number of reasons. One, I don't know that that game has the oomph to get 70, 60, 80 out of anybody. The game is very basic when it comes to art style and characters. It's not leveraging any Nintendo characters. Ain't no Baby Bowser, ain't no Mario, no Link or Inkling. It's just some like robots. And then the overall just style is very plain. It's very mundane. It's very sterile for Nintendo. Like, it's not the typical fantastic castles and colors that they normally use, but it's exploring an interesting idea, and people that played it said it's actually fun and challenging, which reminds me of ARMS. Definitely doesn't have the character chops of ARMS, but it has the kind of like, okay, unique, difficult, motion controlled, emphasized gameplay, except we're mouse controlling as we drag and drive, and apparently it takes a lot of energy, a lot of strength, which I don't know, I think could be very fun. But $20, like, I will dive in, and maybe some of you will as well. Let me know if you're interested in Drag Drive at 20. That thing coming out at 60 would have been a hard pass, I think, for 95% of the audience. So Nintendo doing something really smart here to get mouse controls exposed, to get mouse controls out there, and to share like another Switch 2 exclusive at a really reasonable price point. Now, maybe Switch 2 always was going to have these $20 games, but it's very weird for Nintendo because they don't like to have their titles be cheap. They rarely use the eShop as a way to funnel us unique ideas. I mean, they did that one like Kirby buffet game that I think was 20 bucks or $15. They don't really do that elsewhere. They don't really like smaller games. They don't really go for like the single A, double A. They want things to be full price, and occasionally they'll give us a gift of like WarioWare for 50 instead of 60. This time though, they're starting the generation off with a first-party game on the eShop, and I hope that means Nintendo is considering leveraging the eShop as a way to communicate and convey smaller ideas, interesting games, creative outlets that maybe don't fit into the Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, Smash Bros. Franchises. It doesn't have to be an $80 game to be awesome. It doesn't need Isabelle to be fun. They can still deliver something, if it's priced appropriately, that fans will get excited about. The other side of this coin is like, dude, Nintendo definitely faced extreme heat for their pricing. And I don't know that Nintendo like actively changed anything because of people complaining. Like, there might be a narrative that, oh, we got them to drop the price. The people that were out there saying, drop the price in every stream. I don't think that's the case. I don't think Nintendo bends like that. I don't think Nintendo gives in like that. I think Nintendo might actually just be doing what they said, which is honoring this variable scaling price scheme. It's something that we thought like Nintendo probably won't do. They're probably just saying that like as BS to get people to not... Is something blinking? Am I crazy? Was something flashing back there? Freaking me out. Anyhow, Nintendo might actually be keeping their word and use... Is it... Maybe it's just the DK screen. I don't know. Nintendo might be keeping their word and using variable pricing. I feel like I'm haunted by ghosts in this video. Variable pricing accurately, right? Like, okay, they think Mario Kart World, it's a tentpole title. It's got a big name brand attached to it. It's the launch game. They're offering it in a weird way where you can get it for 50 if you get the bundle. So like maybe like they explain it away that way. And then they're dropping down to 70 for DK, which is just generic current gen pricing. And after playing the game yesterday, dude, let me tell you, the graphics, the fur tech, and the fun snappiness of that game, first of all, it screams AAA tier. It screams like Nintendo's top staff. It screams Nintendo putting their maximum effort. Like, it plays like a Mario Odyssey. It plays like one of the games that Nintendo really hoists up and says, this is our golden child. It also is a brand new game. It also is a fully featured game. It also is not $80. Nintendo then is going to move from that to some of their Switch 2 editions, which are $80, which I don't really love, but they're saying effectively it's $60 for the game, and then it's $20 for the Switch 2 upgrade, and that's going to be the case for like Kirby and Mario Party and the Zeldas. Now they're bringing in a totally new tier, one that isn't used. It's Nintendo's least used tier, which is like cheap Nintendo first-party game. $20 for Drag Drive in August, being an eShop, a digital-only title with no physical version mentioned. Very interesting. And I don't think that they switched it, but what if they did? Like, what if this game was $30 and they were like, you know what? We owe these people a little bit. We owe these people. Welcome Tour was kind of received poorly. Mario Kart World definitely took some heat. Let's give it to them for 20 instead of 30. Now, I don't think that's because I've dropped the price. I think that might just be because of sales figures. Although, at the same time, Welcome Tour has been near the top of the eShop charts for a while, so maybe they always planned this at 20. And at the end of the day, when I look at everything, it's like, I don't believe Nintendo would adjust for drop the price. I don't believe Nintendo would just like change this quickly for their fans. I think Nintendo might have actually just been telling the truth, and maybe they did plan for the Switch 2 generation to utilize a sliding scale pricing model, which is something that is actually great by fans. It's something that's actually good for gamers. It's something that's very consumer friendly. It's something that's very like modern focused. It's something that really makes sense in today's day and age of how game development, game cycles, development costs and teams and all that works. Like, Mario Kart World is being worked on for like 8 years. It's a really big game. They're giving you a way to get it for 50, so 80, like, it makes sense. And then Donkey Kong Bonanza just falls into like the normal price tier. Maybe there's going to be a $60 game. Maybe if they think, you know what, like, hey, this game's coming out on Switch 1 and Switch 2, so we're going to put it at 60, or like it's not even coming out at Switch 2, but it'll be 60 on Switch 1, like, say the new Rhythm Heaven. Maybe the new Rhythm Heaven is going to be 60 on Switch 1. Maybe there's not really any way to like seriously improve that for Switch 2, so it's already got 60 FPS, it's got basic graphics, so you know what, you can put it in your Switch 2 for 60 because it's technically a Switch 1 game that's still utilizing this sliding scale, that's still giving us games at 60, at 70, at 80, at $20. And I pray that Nintendo actually continues this. I pray that Drag Drive actually does well for them. Like, I'm going to give them my money because I want this to continue. Even if Drag Drive isn't my favorite, dude, like, try out some crazy multiplayer thing with Zelda. Try out some crazy single player thing with Splatoon. Try out different ideas. Try out an Animal Crossing single player or multiplayer. Try out a Smash Brothers spin-off. Try off some different things that you can sell us for 20 or 30 or even $40 and really utilize all the different price points that are available to you. Take advantage of the eShop and take advantage of this idea that, you know what, Nintendo games don't have to be $80. This begs the question, what are they going to charge for Kirby Air Riders, for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, for all these upcoming games? What's the price going to be? And it does seem like it will be varied, and it does seem like it will jump around, and it does seem like we'll have to kind of evaluate individually on a game-by-game basis, and I like that. As long as they're not pricing everything at $80 or $90, as long as they're not using $80 for everything except their C-tier franchises. Like, if Donkey Kong was $80, Mario Kart was $80, Metroid was $80, Legends ZA was $80, and then Drag Drive was $50, I'd be like, okay, this is stupid. They're just throwing us a bone to try to make us think it's a good deal, but in reality, it's still Nintendo Evergreen pricing. It's Drag Drive. But this kind of shows that they are willing to work with us. Like, they're willing to give us different entry points, different options, and many different types of software. And I hope third parties take advantage of that. We're going to see $70 third-party games, probably going to see $80 third-party games, but we might also see some smartly priced like $30, $40, $50 third-party games. Obviously, the indie space does this reliably. It would be great to see third parties say, you know what, we're porting this game to Switch 2. We're not going to charge full value. You know what, we're putting this title that was okay on Switch 1 with an upgrade, we're giving it to you for $2.99. Like, that's what Fantasy Life did, and that was remarkable. Hogwarts Legacy brought in a $10 upgrade. Like, that stuff I like to see. I like to see choices, options, and I like to see testing out what's going to work best, what feels good, and then they can zero in. And I think after the whole kerfluffle that was the Switch 2 pre-launch of this console's so expensive, this game is so expensive, welcome to it should be free. Like, yes, all that stuff is valid. But the Switch 2 is proving its worth by running games amazingly, by supercharging Switch 1 games even without upgrades and designated updates, by playing Mario Kart World in a beautiful fashion, by DK Bananza looking absolutely stellar and holding so much in that game to be fully featured, truly next gen and exclusive. And then they're kind of erasing the whole $80 price thing by all of their games afterwards not being $80. Now, do they come back with an $80 game later this year? Maybe they do. I doubt it, though. If you wanted my opinion right now, here in June, I'd say the next $80 game is Mario 3D, whatever the next 3D Mario is. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will be. Maybe it'll be like a $60 Switch 1 game or a $70 Switch 1 game with a $10 upgrade, but I don't know that I count that. We'll have to decide. Like, do we count that as an $80 game? But I can't see Metroid Prime Beyond being just straight up $80 because they're going to sell the Switch 1 version below that and then maybe charge the upgrade. So maybe it does end up being 80, but to me that's the same 80 as Tears of the Kingdom, which is a different tier of 80. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I don't think there's going to be another $80 game this year. I think we're done with 80, but somehow we're new with 20. And that feels really good to me. That feels really great. I love Nintendo for this. I think it's one of the best decisions they've made and one of the most prosumer decisions they've made since the Switch 2 was announced, honestly. Drag Drive coming in as a testable $20 game for us to explore, mess with, get mouse control familiarity, and maybe have some summer fun. Like, that sounds really sweet to me and a super good sign for how the Switch 2 is going to use its price model going forward, and Nintendo actually like honoring what they said and not BS marketing speak us. They like just said, hey, variable pricing. They're doing variable pricing. So let me know if you're excited about this. What do you think? Are you picking up Drag Drive for 20 bucks? Probably you wouldn't have bought it at 70, but will you get it at 20? Let me know in the comments down below, everybody. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love y'all lots. Switch Force out.